What up? Plug this in. How you doing? How you doing? Hola, everyone. Good evening. Glad you could make this Sunday late night session, whatever you want to call it. All right, I'm not digging this music, so let me switch to this. Anyway, it's too loud. FYI, just snacking. Best ever. Even better than the almonds. They also do dark chocolate covered almonds, but I got these by mistake one day, and they are beautiful. And they're crunchy. Do some ASMR. Mm. Mm. Fabulous, fabulous. Good stuff. Punky. Salinas Gomez, thank you for being here. Hey, Lucy. Naya, what up? Where you been? How you been? Yeah, the almonds are good too, but coffee beans. I tried it just to try it. I didn't think I would like it. So good. They're expensive now. These little bags are like $7 now. $7. Used to be $4, $3.98. Now they're $6.98. Don't blame Trump. No, don't blame Trump. I gotta stop. Okay. Mm-mm. Teresa Riley, welcome. So I know you can't tell right now. Earlier, all right. So I was doing some coffee later in the early afternoon. I felt like I didn't have my coffee this morning. So I'm making coffee. And sometimes I like to use a tall tumbler I have, the one that says liberal tears on it, right? And so I did it. But guess what? That tall tumbler doesn't fit in my Keurig when I want hot water from there. You know, I do my own. I have fresh coffee that's ground from Starbucks, and I put it in this little metal filter. Somebody gifted me that, by the way, last year. So I put a couple of tablespoons of coffee in there. Then I just the pour over method where it just drips down. And sometimes I'll just put the tumbler or a regular coffee mug with the thing sitting on top of it, and it'll fit in there nicely. But this tall tumbler, which is about this tall, with the gadget on top, it doesn't fit in my Keurig. So I kind of have to tilt it, put it up to it, hold the thing, and I got to hold everything. It's real stupid, I know. Well, today it slipped out of my hand. All the freaking, it was almost a full cup of hot coffee spilled from about here all the way to up here. And for some reason, this part of my arm didn't, I mean, it burned when it landed, but the part that affected me all day was this part here. And it's barely red anymore. I can still feel it. Still a little tight, a little tender to the touch. But oh my goodness. That was so freaking hot. First time that ever happened to me like that. And all I could think about was these burn victims, that they get caught in a house fire or something, or they're set on fire by something or someone or whatever, and they got, they're just blistering everywhere and the skin grafting. And I was thinking, what horrible! It has to be so freaking horrible that I'm gonna not complain about this too much. Even though it still hurt, it's tender, but it could have been worse. I'm not gonna complain. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. And did go to the doctor. She said, doesn't look bad. If it blisters or something else, then come back. He says, don't even put anything on it. Just run it through cool, not cold, cool water, 10 to 15 minutes, every couple hours or something. So, and it hasn't blistered yet, so I'm guessing it's not going to blister. I hope not. So, but going through that little bit of pain and then thinking about these burn victims and all the, people that are burned 80 or 90% of their bodies. I mean, you can't even move any movement on their part, and it hurts, and I feel, wow. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Okay, yes. Give me some cartoon Band-Aids. What do you got, like SpongeBob or something, or what? I prefer, Snoopy, right? So, yes, I like Snoopy stuff. The screensaver on my Apple TV is Snoopy, and I find it very entertaining. So, man, a lot of stuff going on. Things in life change, and sometimes for the good, sometimes for the worse, sometimes it's just a change. And sometimes they're blessings in disguise. And, I say, when life gives you lemons, make a lemonade. So, got some lemonade iced tea right here. What is it? Arnold Palmer, right? And so, yeah, I haven't been online too much, but because of a schedule change, I'll be able to be online a lot more often. And one of the requests I've been getting is, Little Miss Thang from Raymondville has been on a little bit. So there's a couple of short videos that I want to react to and respond to, I guess. React and respond. Yeah, and I love Snoopy. So sometimes I'll leave the if I don't touch Apple TV, if I'm watching something and the program's over and it's just sitting there, it'll go into the screensaver. And sometimes I'll just wait for that and watch Snoopy sleeping on top of the little doghouse. And then the little bird, what's his name? Woodstock, flying around, bothering Snoopy. It's quite entertaining, actually. Hey, Seafred. Yeah, you know what? I used to have a lot of aloe vera here because my mom had it years and years and years ago. And then that stuff multiplies. It's like a rabbit. They're like rabbits. And there was aloe vera all over the freaking place in the front yard. So I got rid of all of it. But I'm thinking I'm going to bring some back and plant some in the front because they do come in handy. And this is what I was told. The doctor did say. He said after we know it's not going to blister, put some aloe vera on there. Sorry, I keep saying she. Just so you know, and I know people mean well, and everybody's putting, put this on, put that on, put butter, and put Vicks and all this, and toothpaste, which I did. I admit it. That was something like an old wives' tale, I guess, or whatever. It's just an old thing I remember hearing when I was a kid. So I did some of that, but doctor was like, nope, don't put anything on it. Just run it under cool water, not cold water. It's got to be a little cool, not cold. Like, all right, and just let the water pour over your hand. This case, my fist. And then he said, once we know whether or not it's going to blister, he goes, it doesn't look like it, then you can put some pure aloe vera. He said, preferably from the plant. Everybody's got plants outside, which I used to have a lot. And so I'm going to go get some tomorrow. And I'm also going to plant some of that. It's good. Aloe vera is good for. Yeah, he said no sugar, no honey, no toothpaste, no oil of any kind at all, no creams or oils. He said nothing at all. And if it's painful, he said just take your regular over-the-counter or whatever. But basically, she was saying, without saying it, don't be a baby. It doesn't look bad. And even right now, it doesn't even look, it barely looks a little red, right? You can see the redness around here. This whole area right there. But it didn't. And you can, I guess you can see it looks, I don't know, it does look different, doesn't it? Like texture-wise. Or is that just my skin? I don't know. Oh, no, it looks different, yeah. So you can see where the burn was. Anyway, that was my trauma for the day. And of course, sofa all day long. Don't get up. Keep your hand up and go. Every hour I went and put in cool water. And what kept me from complaining was thinking about the burn victims and what they go through. Like, oh man, I ain't even gonna complain. So I'm not complaining now. I'm just letting you guys know what happened. Yeah. Oh, Vicks. Yeah, he said no, absolutely no. Don't Vicks this. He said don't Vicks. Basically, she said don't listen to anybody. Leave it alone. Put aloe vera tomorrow. Yes, ma'am. So something else happened. Yeah, the skin, I guess it did change. I didn't even notice it. Now it's more grainy, like, holy crap, it is different. Oh, well, I don't know. Is it going to peel or anything like that? I have no idea. I've never been burned before. The serving size of this, not that I care, but it's 22 pieces. And the problem is, some of the pieces are tiny and some of them are a little bit bigger. They're not all like uniform size. Like this, little one, big one, they're all different. my size, half a bag per night. Just be sure to brush your teeth afterwards because you got that the coffee beans. If they're hard, the little chunks they'll stay in there between your teeth. All right. I just wanted to run by some of these things that happened during the week, or we can just go right to the VT Chronicles. Whatever you want. Change it up. What you mean? The coffee beans? Well, I usually do the almonds. I mean, they're good too. But the almonds are bigger, so I feel like you get less candy. It's candy, or as a snack, you get less in your bag because the pieces are bigger, and these are a lot smaller. They're like Raisinets almost. So it's my logic. I don't know. Just go with it. Just go with it. Hey, Aurora. You're not late. We're just shooting the breeze. So this happened today. Did you see this? Do you remember this? I posted it to my page. So just after 6 a.m. this morning, there was some kind of domestic disturbance. And this spanned over 3 different houses in this neighborhood. I think 2 of them were right near each other, and then another one was down the street and around the corner or something like that. But this domestic disturbance, what they're calling it, became violent, and 8 children were killed. 8 children were murdered. The youngest was 12 to 14 months old, and the oldest was, I think, 14 years old. Don't know what happened yet. I haven't looked it up recently, but apparently he's a military veteran with some kind of mental issues, and it sounds like he went berserk for whatever the reason. And after committing some of these murders, he carjacked someone, and that was just as police were arriving. He's carjacking somebody, so they became a high-speed chase. And then when that short high-speed chase ended, they ended up shooting him and putting him out. He's dead. So the perp didn't make it, which I'm okay with. This is the guy right there. All these kids, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh man, I don't know if that's them, but 8 are dead, and there's 8 in that picture. Here, Army veteran Shamar Elkins with his 8 young children, 7 of whom he gunned down in Shreveport. Oh my God! So 7 of those kids are dead. How old is this guy? The 8 young children gunned down with their deranged Army veteran father and uncle during a harrowing domestic violence massacre in Louisiana early Sunday have been identified. The children were formally identified by their mothers, according to news released from Caddo Parish. This is in Louisiana. Shreveport. Of the 8, 5 are girls and 3 are boys. The gentleman was 31 years old. And I know war is tough, and being out in the military, being at war is difficult. But being at age 31, I'm just trying to figure out which wars might he have been involved with. Look at that. 3 years old, 5 years old, 6 years old, 7-year-old, 10-year-old, 11, 6, and 5. Oh, man. Elkins fathered 7 of the children and was an uncle to the 8th victim. It's unclear which one was the 8th. Most of the victims were shot in the head while they slept. Oh, Jesus. Shreveport police spokesman. One of the children was killed on the roof while trying to escape. Elkins, who was later killed by police during an attempted carjacking, also shot and wounded 2 women, the mothers of the kids, during his murderous rage. One victim, his wife, was shot in the face at her home with the 8 kids. The other injured victim is believed to be his girlfriend, who was shot in a separate house nearby. Okay, so that's what that means. The killer father shared 4 of the slain children with his wife and 3 with the other woman. Elkins and his wife were in the middle of separation proceedings and were due in court on Monday. The pair was arguing about their relationship when Elkins opened fire. That's freaking horrible. That's freaking horrible. Hey, stable girl, maybe discharged because of mental illness. Yeah, good point. Good Lord. What a horrible, oh man. You know, and all the innocent ones, those kids, through no fault of their own, just freaking sleeping. You know, and then he's going to claim mental illness, but it's like, you know, if he's so mental, and he could think that out. You know, why not do the world a favor and just take yourself out? Yeah, I said that, but I'd rather he take himself out than take 8 children who had nothing to you know, it's not their fault that they're here. You know what? I'm glad he's gone. The way things are going now, I don't want that to play just yet. What the heck, man? I got a ghost in here because I wasn't even touching this stuff, and that. Somebody wants me to put that video in. Oh man, the FedEx driver. You guys hear that thing? It's like I can't even. I was gonna post that story too, but after what came out in the news the other day, I think it was Friday, they played the video, and apparently that camera inside the truck was recording the audio of him back there. And that little girl asked him, are you a kidnapper? And then you hear like a struggle, and then it's just silent. I mean, why did he do it? And they are saying that there seems to be no sexual assault. Seems to be none. They check, they do the rape kits and all that. But they said it doesn't mean it didn't happen, but it doesn't appear to have happened. And all this happened when he was driving his truck and he's in that neighborhood to make a delivery, and the little girl was out there, and the truck bumped into her. Didn't run her over, but just bumped her. And apparently she was okay. And somehow that turned into get in my truck, and then he decided to strangle her. Oh, man, I don't know. What do you say about this crap? These are the kind of things that the death penalty was made for. They go, oh, you have to be 100 for, it's got to be, what if he's innocent? And what's that? Yeah, well, I'll give you that. But when it's locked in as, the dude confessed, and there is no doubt, not an ounce of doubt at all. Yep, this is the guy. This is what happened. Capital punishment. Give him a couple of weeks to live, and then that's it. Just do it. No, now he's going to get appeals for 20 years. And, yeah. Somebody put this up here. The lieutenant governor in Virginia, this guy kills his wife, then he takes himself out. Like, why couldn't he just take himself out? Leave everybody else alone. And I'm not advocating for people to do this, for them to do this, right? It's like, how about don't kill anybody? Just get some freaking help and deal with life. There's a lot of people going out there going through difficult times, and they're not, running to jump off a building or shoot themselves. And if you don't want to deal with whatever's coming your way because you did something wrong or something shady you were involved in, or whatever, you know what? Then take yourself out. Leave everybody else alone. It's like they want to go out, but they want to hurt other people too. because you're hurting a lot of people. You're not just hurting your victim, but you're hurting the kids that are left, the victim's parents, the victim's family, victim's friends. Yeah, the girl on the train got stabbed. He's not fit to stand trial or whatever. Come on. So what is he going to get? A cushy mental hospital stay now? Is that what's going to happen? What else happened over here? So this was a rumor, and some people were trying to make it out to be like an actual offer. But it's just a rumor that the United Airlines CEO was mentioning to somebody, how about us merging United Airlines and American Airlines, which would undisputably form the largest airline in the world. American Airlines is fighting for gate space in Chicago, and there's not enough room. There's not enough room. How big can they make that airport? How many more times do they have to expand? So combining the airlines, that will solve that problem. Now you are one. You don't have to fight about gate space. Now they just have to assign it differently. Anyway, but that's a rumor. It's not even a legit rumor. It's just a rumor that somebody threw out there, and now it's stuck. And all the financial news networks are talking about it, and but I don't think that has much of a life yet. Yeah, back to the capital punishment. If it's 100% undeniable, and the guy admits doing it, and all the clues and the evidence and everything points to, yeah, this is what he said is what happened. Here's all the stuff. Here's the weapon. Those are the bodies over there we found. Look at the blood. I get it, due process, but why? Why should there be due process? We'll give them a little bit of due process to make sure that your story sticks. You're confessing, okay, let's make sure this all adds up. And once it does all add up, yep, he said he's guilty. He's pleading. What? He's pleading not guilty now? Oh. Which sounds like the guy who killed the FedEx driver. I believe he pled not guilty. So, too much freaking crap out there like this, man. It's like, let's see. This was last year. Britney Spears checked into rehab. We wish her well. Looks like Netflix and or Amazon are trying to get Sunday Night Football. And you know what? This is becoming a problem. Because it's already happening with baseball. It's happening with basketball. Let's pick baseball. You got MLB TV. If you live in a major network, Chicago, let's say, you can watch the Cubs, the White Sox, because you live there. You don't have to pay a penny. But if you live out of the system, out of that network, well, now you have to pay, like MLB TV or NFL Sunday Ticket, whatever, to watch your team every week. But that was it. You either watch it there or you watch it here. Okay. Well, now some games are on NFL Network. Okay. And now some Thursday game is on this channel. Monday game is on that channel. Oh, and now there's a Friday night Apple TV football game. Oh, and then there's a blackout. So I'm a Cub fan, as you can see right here. But when they play Houston or the Texas Rangers, I can't watch it. It's completely blacked out. And I don't have cable where I can get those I don't have those channels on my cable plan because I already pay enough as it is monthly for all these stupid crap. So now they're spreading all these games out everywhere, just more places where you can't see the game because you have to sign up and subscribe to all these other channels. And that's gotten ridiculous, way out of control. And that's going on for baseball, basketball, football, hockey. It's like exhausting just talking about it. But just the blackout thing. Just the blackout thing. I wish they would get rid of that stupid crap. Oh, because you're in the market, we can't show it over here. Why? Because then you're not going to make $20 billion more dollars. And then all these subscriptions like NFL Sunday Ticket. Do you realize that thing costs like $300? At least that was the last time I looked. I don't know why I lost this connection. I know it just came back. So now I'm starting to wonder if this is not a Spectrum problem, but my streaming service problem. NFL Sunday Ticket. For the 2026-2027 NFL season, NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube, if you have YouTube Live, offers packages. If you have YouTube Live, then you can buy NFL Sunday Ticket between $240 to over $480 for a season. New customers on YouTube TV can secure the package for $240. While returning users pay $378. And like if you want a standalone NFL Sunday Ticket, it's almost $500. Major League Baseball, MLB TV, if you need that because you live somewhere where you can't watch your favorite team, $30 a month. Same thing for hockey. Same thing for basketball. And then, depending on what day of the week it is, you can't watch it at all. It's blacked out. It's blacked out, even though you're paying for the crap. Even though you're paying for the crap. How messed up is that crap? And it keeps getting worse because they keep having to pay these $400 million, $500, $700 million salaries to these athletes. Who pays that kind of money? The Lakers, the Dodgers. Both LA teams. Interesting. I mean, I'm all for paying a decent salary to a good athlete. But $700 million? Didn't Ohtani get something like that from the Dodgers? And that's why ticket prices go up. I mean, you want to take a family of 4 out to a ball game, even if you get super cheap junk tickets, 30 or 40 bucks a piece. So right off the bat, let's say you're at $120, not even counting food and snacks for the whole game for four, another $120. Got to have a ball cap and a T-shirt or a souvenir. There's another 50 bucks. Anyway, I digress. And wrestling too. Yeah, they're all getting like that. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Now I'm starting to be, and I'm not a fan of like pirated TV, these magic boxes that you can buy so you can open up everything. But you know what? Maybe that's not a bad idea. It's like they're driving people. They're driving people to find other ways to watch. And I'm not a fan of that. I'm really not. I am lucky on my MLB TV deal. Very lucky. I have friends, so I'm very lucky. But they drive people to do this kind of stuff. And then the scalpers are making money because they buy the tickets in bulk, cheap, at face value, and then they go out and sell them for double on the street. Naya says, for the Dodgers, it's $380 for four people. Parking $50, and everything in the stands are $10 and up. I mean, there's some people who that's what they make in a week. In a week. So I wish they would get their crap together and make baseball easier to watch without freaking raping everybody. And that goes the same. I mean, all the subscription prices, Netflix is going up $1 after it just went up $1 or a couple not too long ago. This was last year. Anyway, anywho. Oh, and then also this question: what's going on with the Melissa Lucio? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The case was sent back to Cameron County to the district attorney here. District Attorney Louis Syens, and he's just sitting on it. He hasn't done anything. It was recommended she be released. Well, he's not in a rush to do it because he's the one who wanted her to be on death row in the first place. So, him letting her go kind of makes him the loser. And not easy for him to do, even if he's wrong. So all they can do is recommend, and they recommended she be released. Well, guess what? He doesn't have to answer to them. She could be there for another 10 or 20 years. She could literally die in prison, even though it's recommended that she's released. Yeah. So when some people talk about some things that are corrupt down here, there is some legit corruption for sure. And it's sad. It's very sad because she should be released. She should have been released like right when this ruling came out. Now we're talking about 2 years. But he's not in a hurry. And he makes no secret of that. He said that before. He's like, well, we'll see. He's like, yeah, okay. And nothing has happened at all. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yolanda Saldivar, Selena's killer. Um, it was speculated. It was you put money on it that she was going to get denied. So she got denied, and she's not eligible for like another 9 or 10 years, something like that. So you know what? Don't care about her. I don't want people to die, but if she dies in prison, it won't bother me that we never talk about her again at all ever. She can rot in. Yep. Mama Tessa. Yeah, she is safer in there because I mean I know she wants out, but and she may think nobody's gonna do them to her, but Selena was sorry, I call her Selena. And I know I'm always corrected. It's Selena. She had a lot of fans, and people saw her as part of the family. You know, men and family saw her like as like a family, a daughter or a niece or something. And people loved her everywhere. Everywhere, people loved her. And things will not go well for Miss Saldivar should she be released. And again, I say, let nature take its course, right? State of Illinois put out a warning, and they're afraid. They put out a warning. 16,000 immigrants could lose their SNAP benefits. Governor Pritzker. Governor Pritzker. 16,000 immigrants could lose access to SNAP benefits. In other news, so real quick, I'm going to hit on this, and then we'll go to the featured videos for the evening. Let me find it here. Here's one of the items. Let's hold this. So, Democratic Congressman of California, Eric Swalwell, aka Eric Swallowwell, aka Eric Not So Well, had multiple accusers come out and say that he sexually abused them. And this one lady had a press conference describing her ordeal with him.
Had contact with Eric Swalwell on 3 separate occasions after meeting him socially. He offered me connections to further my software company.
Now, she's no angel. She admitted to being in a relationship. So it's not like she was like a single woman who, and I'm not saying that's okay because of her status that happened to her. I'm just saying she also could have, made a different decision too.
And I also had an interest in local politics. He invited me to 2 public events. I knew he was married at the time and that his wife was pregnant. He was my friend. On the 3rd occasion, I believe he drugged my drink. I only had 1 glass of wine. We were supposed to go to a political event, and he said he needed to get paperwork from his hotel room.
So that's when you say, okay, I'll wait down here in the lobby. You go ahead upstairs. I mean, am I wrong?
When I arrived at his hotel room, I was already incapacitated and I couldn't move my arms or my body. He raped me and he choked me. And while he was choking me, I lost consciousness. And I thought I died. I did not consent. Although I did not undergo a rape kit at the to me. I also recorded these events in my handwritten calendar. The assault and its impact were later documented during my therapy sessions at a sexual assault center in Connecticut. It had a profound impact on my mental health. I self-medicated in an unhealthy way. I did not want to live anymore. I cried all the time for years. At the time, I was in a dating relationship with a boyfriend I was fully committed to. I've never cheated in my life, and I would never have engaged in a consensual sexual encounter with Eric Swalwell. That reality further underscores the non-consensual nature of what occurred. It was a politically unusual and intense time in Beverly Hills, and I was considering a run for city council, which placed me in proximity to political figures and events and added to the pressure to remain composed and silent.
But I mean, my whole thing is, if you're single, like if you're just and I don't mean single as in not in a relationship, I mean, but you're just a woman on your own by yourself, isn't it better if you bring someone with you? You're gonna go to a hotel for drinks. I mean, at this point, it's like, trust no one, right? I mean, don't go alone to these kind of meetings. And I'd take it as far as, you know what? Don't have a drink. Did he drug her? Is that why she got the way she did? Did he slip her a roofie or something? So the other side of this is, this happened in 2019, I think. 2018 and 2019. So it's like, and everybody says, the timing of this, he's running for governor and all this, and for it to come out now. And it's like, don't tell me this. And I don't know who would benefit from this, But everybody says, "Oh, all these accusations, all these allegations come out for this political purposes only." Because why did she wait so long? And that was a long time ago. A long time ago. I don't, I don't know. I just mean, why now? Like, why? Hey, and I'm no fan of his, so he's gone. I thought the guy was an idiot all the time anyway. Yep. And, but it's like, what, okay, somebody said something. Katie, I travel for work alone. I should be a shut-in. Kind of. But you know what? Order your own drink and watch the server bring it to you. Don't let somebody go, "Oh, let me go get, what do you want? What do you want? Let me go get." Have your own drink when you get there. When you get there, order your own stuff so you already have your drink. And only have the bare minimum. Don't, a lot, and not just women, men too. Say, don't go. Why do you got to get plastered every time you go drink? You got, you don't need to be drunk every time you go. You're gonna go have a few drinks. But order your own drink, or you go to the bar and get it. Order it and get it and bring it back. Don't let a dude go, "Oh, hey, I brought some drinks. Here, you can have this thing." No. Yeah, have a meeting in the lobby. Not well, and according to him, according to her, it was not going to be in his room, but he needed to go get some paperwork. I mean, and that's when I would have said, "All right, go get your paperwork. I'll be right here in the lobby." So I don't know. I mean, and I'm not a fan of his, like I'm saying, but it's like, why now? Don't tell me it's not politically motivated. When it's really, really, he's about to go hard on his campaign for governor of California. I mean, the guy's a moron anyway. But the timing of these things is always baffles me. Stuff that happened 10, 15, 20 years ago. And they come out and want to be open with it just at certain political times. Yeah. Apparently she knew of him, but I don't think they knew each other well. But she felt like she was, to advance her career. This guy's already in politics, and he's got to help me. Even 6 years ago, I mean, if something happens tonight, report it freaking tonight and come out with it tonight. Maybe his entire idiotic, ridiculous career of the last few years, life could have spared us from that idiot if this would have been reported, 5, 6, 8, 10 years ago, whatever. And now more women are coming out. I don't know. I think it's 4 or 5, something like that. So, yeah. Yep. All right. You want to do this? You want to do some of this? Let's do some of this. Yeah, and then there was that video. Oh, you know what? I've got that video. I got the video. I think you guys have seen some of this video. Where is the video? There it is. There's no sound on the video. But this is part of an original video. The longer video had him grabbing her face and kind of forcing a kiss on her, but she wasn't exactly resisting. And apparently she's one of the ladies of the night, working woman. But when this is going on, a couple of things to notice. First of all, look at the shoe. See the other dude sitting on the bed with them? Yeah, another politician from California, Mr. Gallego, Ruben Gallego. So he's there with him too. That's his not boy toy, but his playmate. All right, that's one thing. Now let the video play. Oh, look who's back there. Look, another scantily clad woman. Oh, she's looking, notices somebody's recording and says, hey, let me go back to the bathroom. Yeah, you don't even have to look in the mirror. You can. She comes out. So definitely working women. And that's a whole other thing. That's beside the point. There's going to be working women in a lot of places. That kind of working woman, anyway. But I mean, they're in a hotel room. Married. And this is a guy who had the affair with the Chinese spy. What was her name? Fang Fang. For real. Fang, F-A-N-G, Fang. And he was having an affair with her. And it's like, oh, dude, moron. You do realize she's a spy for the Chinese? Yeah. True story. So, did I get rid of the wrong thing? That's okay. I'll put it back up here. All right, let's begin this short video. Are we not going to talk about Kamala's recent trending news? What, that she's thinking about running for governor or president? Pfft. Please. Governor of California, I don't care. I mean, those people will elect anybody, and if they want to try their luck with Kamala, okay. Remember that guy? Who's that guy? The talk show. When Trump first. Sorry, the connection lost, right? Or am I just hallucinating? I think my connection was lost again for about 15 seconds. Anyway, that talk show host that night, something Oliver, when he found out Trump was talking about running for president, he was like, go ahead, do it. Like, well, that's how we are with Kamala. Go ahead, do it. And then Kamala and AOC want to run together for something. Oh. These are like the strongest peoples they have. And you guys live in California. I'm not picking on you personally, but our gasoline prices are starting to drop back to close to $3, and pretty soon it'll be under $3. But you guys are paying. You guys could be close to that, but you're paying such high, ridiculous taxes that you guys keep voting for people that vote for these high taxes. I mean, $8 a gallon? Freaking serious? This is all your fault. Your people. You keep voting for this stuff. Anyway, let's go to the videotape. So this is, let me do this. Yeah. This is, there were 2 videos done this day. This was on the 17th. And this is the first one. It's not long. This is less than an hour. And the other one is even shorter than this one.
This one's school?
I'm just going to skip through this. I'm not going to do the whole thing.
And while my survival, in the middle of my survival, my 2 younger daughters, who I reluctantly enrolled in school, reluctantly, told me something that I believed. Because of all of that, it's a small town in Texas, Willacy County, Raymondville.
These daughters that she absolutely cares nothing about. And I will tell that to her face. She cares nothing about them.
We are. I say we because I'm far and they have these things on here.
And now she wants to rag on, again, Raymondville and the people of the valley. It's such a horrible, horrible area down here. Horrible is the person that did that hair of yours. That's where you should be complaining to.
Because I'm going to say this. I have this survival page because at the age of 38 years old, I had never been arrested. I had never gotten in any kind of trouble at all. And at 38 years old, my first son came to me and told me something that was happening in school. My second son came to me and told me something that was happening in school.
Also, he's blaming her kids on her getting arrested. Okay, that's what I got out of it.
And while my survival, in the middle of my survival, my 2 younger daughters, who I reluctantly enrolled in school, reluctantly, told me something that I believed. Because of all of that, it's a small town in Texas, Willacy County, Raymondville. The school district is the #1 employer. That means everybody is either related to somebody or works for the school district. I don't care. The community is a small community. And this is a rural community made up of a lot of cowboy families and just tough families, right?
Cowboy families. Okay. I've got a very low tolerance for bullcrap today. and I'm already. It's like I've been watching this for 8 hours, and I'm it's been, let's see, it's 4 minutes in. We've watched maybe 2 minutes, and I'm already like, but let's hear a little more. And for those who need to hear it, this is a reaction video. We're doing a reaction to some of her claims. Oh, okay, I'll just let her talk.
You know, a lot of times in rural communities, many times we're pretty tough. We are. I say we because I'm from here too.
I'm glad you pointed that out.
I say all that because I got a lot of hate from a lot of people. I remember when I told my best friend at the time about my 2 daughters, she told me, "You're going to get a lot of hate." I said, "I know."
Get a lot of hate for what? Hey, Cheryl. Oh, yeah. Lots of ranches. Everybody's a cowboy. Everybody's just a dumb cowboy. Except her. She's the smart one. I'm just kidding. She's not, but, you know. Why don't she talk about having her girls in dirty diapers? Yep. This is in Spanish if somebody wants to read that. Basically, it says your girls are better with their father. I would agree. I would agree.
I already, because I was already getting that because of my sons.
Why is she hated on because of her sons? Why? That's what I want to know. Why is she getting hated on because of her sons?
I didn't care. Because at the end of this life, all I care about is not about the hate pages that said bad things about me. It's not about the friends that I've lost throughout the years that have said bad things about me and have betrayed me. It's not about anybody trying to smear my name. All I care about is that the 4 children that I gave birth to understood that when they needed somebody to believe them, somebody did. I want them to have known that not only did somebody did, because many times you can believe the child, but if you don't do anything, that's another trauma to them.
So you did not fight for them for their custody. Don't you think that's traumatizing for them too? I mean, you know what? In hindsight, thank God, because they're better off now. They would be better off with, devil worshippers than with you. They would be better off with, grandparents with Alzheimer's instead of you. And so overall, thank goodness you don't have custody. However, you want to fight and claim and lie that you fought for them and you love them and you fought for them and you fought for them and you stood up for them. Like, meanwhile, you just walked away. You told the court. Kind of gives the court an ultimatum. Well, if I can't have custody, then if I can't have full custody, well, then, I'll sign my rights away. Why don't you tell us that story?
Not only did I believe I did the absolute fucking most that a parent can do. The absolute most. And I went through every avenue with my sons and my daughters, everything. Everything that a parent's supposed to do, everything that they're supposed to do, everything that they can do. But in a small town, the people that you're accusing of doing this to your children, well, their parents are going to get mad. I don't care. I don't give a damn. I don't care how popular they were. To this day, I do not care. To this day, I will walk past them and look them straight in the eyes. I do not care. I do not care. I do not care. My love for my children is stronger than any kind of shame and guilt that anybody can try to throw my way. My children are never going to be, no matter what age they are, as long as I'm alive, my children are never going to be children that when they came to their mother and their mother was made aware by them of something of summa importance, that I didn't believe them, that I blew it off,
Sass.
that I said, oh, ignore it, or oh, let's just switch you to another school district, or any of that. I will never be that parent ever. Ever. Never. So when you do that, and when they cannot control you because you start using democracy, and you use democracy in a way that you're not violating anybody's rights, they couldn't understand that. They couldn't understand, A, somebody had the nerve to stand up against whoever was doing wrong against my children.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Bullshit kid, stand by and be ready because I think I'm going to need you a few times, all right?
B, that when they didn't do anything right, they started using social media and wielding democracy as a weapon that will be formed. It will be formed and it will prosper against everybody that has harmed somebody that is only doing it for their good. That's it. I was defending my children. So they weaponized law enforcement. They did. They did.
Weaponized law enforcement.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
The people weaponized law enforcement against her. So what was it that her sons did exactly to get this entire village against her? You know, she makes it sound. You ever see those old movies? You know, the whole village is tired of the king, and they're coming up, and they're carrying torches, and they got clubs and base, you know, things like that, chains, and they got all these. They're holding torches, and they're beating on the giant door, and they're looking, and the king is up at the top looking down at them, and they're trying to break into the castle, and the whole village is out there, and they're all fed up with the. That's the scene that I get from here. She wants everybody to think that the whole town was against her. But she still hasn't said for what. What was it? What did her sons do to cause this? Since she's blaming her sons, what's the problem?
You know, I can say this now because the majority of people know that this is the absolute truth. There are no lies. And I can say their names. I can say the names of the parents who went over there to the law enforcement and did that. No, you are not my problem no more right now. Unless you open your mouth up about my children, you're not my problem.
Unless you open your mouth up about her children, you're not her problem. What are you going to do?
My problem is the people in power that once they came after me those first few times, I came after them with democracy as well. And they became just as inappropriate as these parents, as these relatives. And they also said, well, we'll just keep on wielding democracy. No weapon you form. No weapon you form, even if you weaponize yourselves, even if you're a judge and you weaponize your mouth, even if you're a judge and you weaponize your signature, even if you're a judge and you weaponize your gavel, even if you're a district attorney and you weaponize every power that you have available to you, even if you are an officer and you weaponize your badge, your weapons will not prosper against me, you as a weapon.
Where have I heard that before? I mean, slightly different. Any of your weapons will not prosper against me. Where have we heard that before?
Will not prosper against me. Everything in this universe that is more powerful than any of the people that I just named right now. We would be foolish to think that a person with no political power, with no credentials that have power behind them, because they are small and powerless in the world that we live in, we would be foolish to assume or ignore that they may be giants in the spiritual world. Don't believe in spirit? The majority of the people that I mentioned right now are Christ-loving. That's a spirit of all spirits. That is a spirit of all spirits. So yeah, all of you do believe in that side. You just don't want to believe it when somebody that you victimized in this human world was able to be triumphant against you.
Does anybody else hear that? It's like she's trying to, it's like she's like it's a sermon. I feel like a pastor or a preacher somewhere would sound like this, talking about Christ. But she's using a lot of that references and some of the things said in scripture, using them for herself. You guys catch that?
My battle's still going with these people.
No, it's not.
I have been proving them wrong all along the way.
Yeah,
the hate got so bad against me that the public where I live, there is a lot of hate. There is an extraordinary amount of hate. They did not care that I was doing this. I'm in the screen exactly the same way I was.
You know what? I'm going to start a page. And I want anybody who's a hater against her to come in and come to that page. I want to talk to you people. I want to know where all these haters are. Let's see what I come up with. Don't be surprised if you see that this week.
Over 10 years ago, nothing has ever stopped me. Nothing. I am the very definition of unstoppable. Nothing has ever stopped me. And as long as I live and I breathe, nothing is going to stop me.
Who's trying to stop you? And Stop you from what exactly? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? What are people trying to stop you from doing? Do tell. Because I'll be honest, I'll speak for a lot of people. We have no freaking idea what you're talking about. Stop you from what? Nuclear weapons? Socialism? What is it?
In the course of protecting badly behaving officers, in the course of allowing themselves to be used as weapons on behalf of these low vibrating, low thinking, low intellectual, low emotionally intelligent individuals in our county, in our city, just to get back at that Vanessa Tijerina. In the course of doing all that, they destabilized me so many times, and I restabilized every time after that. They got me to where I saw the darkest days of my life, days that I never ever in my life ever had ever been around in my life, had ever seen in my life, had ever known. Depths of depression that most people cannot ever pull themselves out of. And I overcame every damn thing. Everything. They went so far as to tear my family apart. And yeah, I cannot blame the people. I cannot blame anybody, anyone who betrayed me, who I once loved. Because I know good and well, if they knew the truth, as to why they were helped by these people in power to deny justice to people that they love, they would have never participated. Never.
So, excuse my language. It's almost midnight. I don't always speak like this. What the fuck is she talking about? Does anybody have a clue? And and this is one of those situations, like, the way Candace Owens loves the sound of her own voice, and she needs to make videos or go live for her self motivation. I swear, I think she makes these videos, she goes live, and then she plays them back, and she's like, "Yeah, that's right, yep, you go, girl," she tells herself. "You go, girl, that's right." Because the only one that believes all this crap that she's saying, which nobody even knows what the hell she's saying, but she's saying something. Nobody knows what the fuck she's talking about except her. It's all in this little coconut of hers right there.
These people from the public down here, there's a desperation because nobody listens to you. Nobody hears you. They don't listen to you. They don't represent you in Austin very well. Just as a whole, as a region, the Rio Grande Valley. 4 counties: Starr County, Hidalgo County, Cameron County, Willacy County. They hardly represent you in Washington, D.C. So, of course, they're not going to care if you go live. Unless you're selling something. Unless you're unless you're amazing, unless you are an entertainer, unless you make them laugh, unless you do something to evoke emotion out of them. And what these foolish people from the public thought, as soon as they saw me and heard me, they hated me. Because this woman was getting attention that they could try to be the most amazing selves they could be, but they were never going to get that much attention.
So that's why they hate you? Because you're getting attention? Okay.
Because when hateful people see you like that, they want to destroy you. They don't want anybody else to see what they see. Because if I was the scum of the earth, if I was nothing to look at, if I was nothing to hear, if I was nothing to pay attention to, they wouldn't try so hard to destroy everything about me. They just didn't. They were triggered by what they saw that they didn't hate. They were triggered by what they saw that they admired. And they didn't want anybody else to hear that and admire that, to see that and admire that, and to feel how you make them feel.
I'm trying to follow this.
Evoke emotion out of them.
I need to hear that little part again.
And what these foolish people from the public thought, as soon as they saw me and heard me, they hated me.
As soon as they saw her or heard her, they hated her. Okay. But for what? What was it you were saying or doing, or what did your boys do that caused people to hate you? It's like I'm listening to Kamala Harris.
Because this woman was getting attention that they could try to be the most amazing selves they could be, but they were never going to get that much attention.
Well, not everybody needs fucking attention. Not everybody needs that like you do, obviously. But you need it for some reason. I mean, I think we know why, but
That has nothing to do with me. It had to do with how God made me and what I was surviving. They didn't care that I was surviving. They didn't know how to destroy me. Because when hateful people see you like that, they want to destroy you. They don't want anybody else to see what they see. Because if I was the scum of the earth, if I was nothing to look at, if I was nothing to hear, if I was nothing to pay attention to, they wouldn't try so hard to destroy everything about me. They just didn't. They were triggered by what they saw that they didn't hate. They were triggered by what they saw that they admired. And they didn't want anybody else to hear that and admire that, to see that and admire that, and to feel how you make them feel. Because humans do not always care and do not always remember about the words that came from your mouth. What humans care about the most,
it's how they make you feel.
and it will be like this till the end of time.
How they made you feel.
What humans care about the most is how you make them feel.
She must have received that meme in her what do you call it, in her feed. Who said that quote? Anybody remember? Oh, of course. That's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. It was Mrs. Maya Angelou. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. So she's doing a whole sermon on that. Okay.
And unfortunately, for a lot of the people that are the strongest of my haters, they lack empathy. They lack the ability to even put a camera on themselves if they ever even got to the point to do that. To be able to evoke emotion, carrying emotion to when they see that hater and they go away from that hater and they think, oh my goodness, that hater touched my heart. That hater made me feel some kind of good way.
Look at those lighty, tiny little baby hands. Okay.
They lack that.
They lack that or they like that? All I heard was they lack that. But it could have been like they lack as in like, or they lack as in don't have it. But she's doing that Kamala Harris thing where the accent changes because she's talking about a certain something she read that somebody said, so she's got to, change it up a little bit. You catch that?
And I've always had that since I was a child. And I've always known if I ever had to, I could. And I would. And I did.
I would and I did and I could.
And so some of these
What?
people got together, and it is my opinion that the ones with the most money, the 5 names that I gave these officers, these law enforcement agencies, this district attorney, were the ones that were able to finesse my beating, the beating in my face on December the 23rd of 2020, where I was lured to an area. Today I gave my last victim statement. I want to remind everybody that has been following my story, I want to remind you about John Allen, the same one that said the other day, I think her car got repossessed, was the same one that was seen in front of my home, was the same one that was doing these bad things with these 5 other names that I mentioned.
Bull crap lies. John Allen never stood in front of her house, never went to her house. Sometimes people drive by her house because her house is on a major highway. But that story that she tells that a likeness of a white man was seen standing in front of her house, that's a lie. That's a complete lie. That's been debunked so many times. It's, at this point to continue with all this lies, it's just comical. Because that case is colder than a witch's tit. It's gone, dead and cold, ice cold, buried in the Antarctic, and it's just gone.
But this district attorney denied me justice by refusing to subpoena their geolocations, their phones, and their messages between them.
Yeah, she wants phone records and geolocation subpoenaed. She wants the FBI involved because, this is, CIA, top secret government, our nation's secrets. And, the CIA has to get involved and do these, they have to map out somebody's whereabouts every second of their life. So that she can continue to blame others for the stupid crap that she does in her life that she will never take accountability for. There you go. Thank you so much. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. I knew it was biblical. I knew it. I just didn't want to make an ass out of myself. That's correct. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. You see what she's doing? Blasphemer. Blasphemer.
Because I would have been right. I would have been right. And that would have shown them to be deficient, because I went to go make police reports and I had to just finally give up because they would not take my police reports. And if they were to have subpoenaed those records, they would have seen, oh my God, she was right the entire time.
Sorry.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
See, she has to say, she says that. Oh, if they would have subpoenaed the records, they would have seen that, oh, I am right. She's saying that because she knows they never will subpoena no records at all, that this case is dead and buried, and that's never going to happen. That's why she's so sure of herself to say that, because it's a bunch of crap. You know, you people that follow her and really believe her, I mean, if you really believe all this stuff and you're swallowing it like the good Kool-Aid drinkers that you are, I'm worried about you guys. You know, and I dare you to go ask her about this. See what kind of response you get. We've seen it. I know what kind of response you're going to get. But you can't even ask her about this stuff. Hell no. But that's why she's so confident. If they would subpoena, they would find out that I'm right. Yeah, she says that because she knows that's never going to happen. It's a bullshit lie. It's a bullshit lie.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
But that's what happens when you live in an area like this and you have a mind like this.
Oh my goodness.
No one is going to listen to you, because they think that their credentials make them more intelligent. And or they're just as evil as the people that are doing this to you, and so they're participating in it without actually participating in it. They're enabling it. So for the last 5 years, I've had people like that, John Allen and other hateful people, Ofelia Moreno. These people lured me to a location, had nothing to do with drugs. I did not know who these people were in that way. The only reason that I knew who they were is what I'm going to say at the end of this video. And
that story has changed also. First, they had to tell her something about her campaign. And then, yes, she did not know these people. And then, oh, they were friends. I thought they were friends. I thought they were my friends. And then I didn't know these people. That's what she told the press. It's in the newspaper clippings. I did not know these people. I don't know who these people are. Which is another bullshit lie to add to the numerous bullcrap lies.
I read that in my victim statement. Yeah, I did.
Oh boy, I'd love to see what that sounds like. And the victim statement for who? And I'm going to guess it's for Ariel, about Ariel. Oy vey.
I mentioned the judge and I mentioned the prosecutor in my victim statement, because that crime would never have occurred had it not been for Judge Cordova and Annette Hinojosa, the district attorney. I was beaten for 3 hours. I was tortured in every way. Just my face. They tried to take all my teeth out, but they couldn't, because by that time, my face was too swollen. They kept me looking at the live stream, because not only were there 2 cameras, one on each side of me, there was a live stream, and they were given orders. And some of those orders were look into the camera and say that you're not going to do a live video anymore, right? But the prosecution didn't care about any of that. That was not enough to subpoena the people that were on the live video, right? No, no. The truth is that it was Vanessa fucking Tejerina. And Vanessa Tejerina is not going to get justice because you were already prosecuting her maliciously, you animals. Taking advantage of a woman with no power. No seeming power, right? Not the kind of power you have.
So, I mean, it's sad. And I know people handle crime or being victims differently, right? I know that people process trauma differently. I get that. But for her to still be with this since December 24th, 2020, and now we're coming up on 6 years. And the case is closed. I mean, there's nothing going on with it. There's no investigation at all. There hasn't been for almost 5 years, almost 6 years. The investigation to all this was so quick. I know she's big on, well, you didn't rule them out. You didn't rule her out. You didn't rule him out. It's like, yeah, they ruled them out. They talked to people, and police investigators and detectives know when someone had nothing to do with it, and someone had nothing to do with it, and so-and-so had nothing to do with it. So there's no need to continue. There's no need to rule someone in if you can eliminate them. It's over. It's done. So this is just her imagination that someone's going to get ruled in, or they're going to subpoena cell phone records, which is not going to happen because this is not a critical, a critical issue for our country. This is just, and you see why for a while I don't show this stuff and I don't react to it, because it's the same bullshit over and over again, like constantly.
As I was being beaten, two of my friends called me. One of them was calling me to tell me the person that looked just exactly like John Allen was across the street from my house. She didn't know that I was being beaten.
Bullshit lie.
While police were swarming my home. My other friend that called me was the one that proves that I was not there on a drug binge. I was not there selling my body for days. Like that disastrous, disgusting Ophelia Moreno was saying. I feel that she had everything to do, as also with John Allen, it is my opinion, that a lot of these people, at least five of these people, had everything to do with finessing the young people that finally got sentenced, one of which was the one that got sentenced today. I will always believe that. No one's ever going to change my mind. This lawyer, whenever she gets the grievance to her state bar, is going to have to answer. She's going to have to answer to the Department of Justice when they come in asking, why didn't you request this, and why didn't you request that, and why didn't you request this? So they can figure out in their investigation if my victim's rights were indeed violated or not.
So she's trying to... So before it was just a beating. They beat me up. I don't know why. It was because of her political career. They wanted to shut her up. It was political. So when she purchased a press release And she typed it up. That's where she was going with that. From there, it was a hate crime because she has autism. So now it's a hate crime because she has a disability. She has a disability. And that's when she turned it into, just started attaching the word, the term hate crime to it. But she has to feed all these fake viewers. Maybe she's got a dozen or a couple dozen that like loyally follow her and swallow her shit. But like the other video where I got 14,000 reactions. Like, yeah, because you paid for them. That's why. I can go out and pay for them also and get 15 or 20,000 reactions if I wanted to. But I don't want to because that's not legit. That's not real. If I get 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 people or 100 people watching one evening and they react to it and you guys put a couple of 100 comments on there, it's because those are a couple of 100 people or whatever that are interested and have been following. And on some level, they know and they're interested. So they discuss it. I'm not going to spend $50 on a bunch of fake reactions and fake things that it's fake. Whatever.
Now that the last person has been sentenced, the only excuse that I had gotten when I made my request for all of the evidence, I want to see both cameras. I want to see those 3 hours. I don't care if I have to sit there for 6 hours and see each video footage. I want to see exactly what happened to me so that I can understand what happened to me. And that's my right in Texas. My disability rights afford me to have that in my hand in the way that I can understand it. Because ain't no way in hell you're going to have me watching that in the same building disgustingly of a woman district attorney. That is the only reason that these people knew who the hell I was. No. And a woman who has continuously, maliciously prosecuted me. I'm not going to do that. You're not going to do that to somebody who has autism. You're not going to do that to somebody who has ADHD. How dare you? So in her little letter to try to avoid that, to the
anybody who claims to have autism who doesn't is a real piece of shit. Am I an expert? No. But I'm pretty good at spotting bullshit. I'll say I'm an expert at spotting bullshit. And I don't need a degree for that. And there was no autism talk back then. There was no autism talk. There was no hate crime talk back then. That's something that's more recent. And every time someone says, and you know what? Nobody says that. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that they have autism just to lie. Well, I did see a TikTok video of a girl claiming she was going to get arrested for a crime. And then she busted out and then started to have a seizure. But you could tell the seizure was fake. It was not a good seizure. It was not a good seizure reenactment. It really wasn't. But I don't think I've heard too many people say, claiming autism in order to get away with stuff. Except for her. And that's pretty low life, scum of the earth. Scum of the earth. It's a scum of the earth thing to say, to claim when you don't have it. I don't know if you've seen this, been going viral the last week. I think he's a teenager. His name is Victor. Autism. And the dude paints. He's an artist. And he makes all these animal drawings. Have you seen this? Look up Victor with a K. And I'm not saying that's the only kind of autism there is, but that's a good example. Someone with autism. He's not going around saying, I have autism, buy my art. I have autism. Look at what I can paint because I have autism. Look up Victor, Viktor. Maybe, Victor, the artist with autism or something like that. And you'll see he does a lot of great stuff. And then you see someone like this trying to say they have it when they clearly don't. If she would claim Tourette's syndrome, well, I'd be more inclined to believe that than freaking autism. And don't insult people who live with it. And by that, I mean someone they love with autism. Husband, son, wife, brother, sister, whatever. That's an insult to people with autism and to families who deal with someone with autism.
To the Attorney General, she said, oh, we can't give that to her because it's an open investigation. The investigation's over. The last person has just been sentenced, ma'am. And if that's the only excuse that you gave, then you have none anymore. And you're going to look like a floundering fish, wishing for something to keep on going. Right? Whenever you realize the truth that I'm saying here right now.
The reality is, this is funny because nobody cares. The only people that care or think that they care are those meathead minion followers of hers who believe her crap, and they don't know. They don't know the whole story. So they just go with her, whatever she says. You go, girl.
I had to rush over here because today was announcements. This case was presided by a judge that had no business being on the case. He was the same judge that I was able to get off all my other criminal cases. He was the same judge that backdated a summary judgment, removing my custody from my children in a way that no one ever gets their custody removed. And in my opinion, it was absolutely done to protect the people that my children had allegations from.
Okay, that one gets a huge...
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
They argued for custody. She lost. She could appeal. You pay the appeal fee, and then we'll start the appeal process. Submit it by this date. She did not. Lost custody. A week or two later, she comes back crying, please, please, please give me a chance. Give me a chance. I didn't have the money or whatever she said, whatever her bullshit excuse was. And the court said, okay, we'll give you another 7 or 10 days or 2 weeks, whatever it was. They gave her extra time. Pay your fee to file the appeal, and we'll get the process started. They didn't have to do that, but they did. She never came back, never paid the appeal fee, never did any of that. Even though they didn't have to, they gave her a chance and said, okay, fine. Even though you missed the last deadline, we'll give you additional time. She never came back. Whose fault is that? Who are you going to blame for that one? And that, everything I just told you, I read in a court document that is a matter of record. I'm not just making that up. I read that from a court document. But she won't talk about that because she don't want nobody to know that that's what happened. You know, she's got to push her bullshit lies, which is precisely why she doesn't want me around. That's why.
Of all the proof is there. Everything that I've ever stated is there. They cannot deny this. Just like they cannot deny the relation of the officer who planted evidence in my car to the person who my children had allegations from. How are you going to explain all that to the U.S. Department of Justice? You foolish, foolish, foolish animals. Just
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
So, another bullshit lie. Never been a charge. There's never been a formal accusation. There's never been a formal report filed for this planting of the evidence. Now, I believe they did mess up the way they handled that situation because it is documented as evidence put on their evidence list. And what happens to evidence? Usually they take it in. It goes in a little Ziploc or a paper bag sealed with a piece of tape as evidence. And it gets taken, in as evidence. Well, for some reason, the police officer found a crack pipe. He went to his superior or whoever was documenting evidence, and then he walked it back to her car. Why that happened? I don't know. That's kind of weird. But it was in her car, and there's photos of it that was in her car. And then there's the next day where she admits the crack pipe was hers. It was in her house, and she put it in her car. She volunteers this information, and she admits it. But you know what? It was George Costanza who told Jerry Seinfeld, you know what? It's not a lie if you believe it. And these people don't know, some of the people that watch our channel, I don't know if they don't care or if they actually truly believe this stuff that she says. I don't know.
just because you are a lawyer or a judge, you thought you were going to get away with all of this. No. Just because you have gotten away with it, everybody that got away with getting those young children to do that to my face also thinks that they've gotten away with it.
Young children.
And shame on you.
Young children didn't do that to her. Missy, if I remember correctly, these people who did that they're not much younger than you are. So, young children, they were not young children.
Shame on you, because if I'm correct, then that means those 5 people participated in an abhorrent crime. And you have them walking free amongst the public with the ability to do that and orchestrate that against another human being. None of what happened to me is going to be for nothing. None of it. All these years I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for it to get to the point where I can go to a legislative session here in Austin and let them know that a law needs to be made so that a judge who previously was taken off a defendant's cases because of the differential treatment and him violating his canons against her, his 10 rules. Should never be the judge in a case wherever she is a victim now, because how are we reasonably going to expect that she's going to get justice? She cannot. Not the necessary level of justice. How can we allow a district attorney in Texas to continue to be involved in any of the cases, to be involved in any kind of plea deals, to be involved in any kind of case of a victim in which she is she is maliciously prosecuting in other cases?
She keeps saying maliciously prosecuted or constantly prosecuted and persecuted. Meanwhile, she's only had a few actual dispositions against her, and everything else, a lot of these charges have been dropped and dismissed and just went away after years and years and years and years and years of delays. Seemingly, these issues in court seem to be going her way every single time. Yet she's going to keep talking shit. Explain that one to me.
There is no reasonable expectation of justice from either that judge or either that district attorney's involvement as a prosecutor. I want to remind y'all that man John Allen and Ofelia Moreno, who have been saying, remember, for years they were saying the case is closed, the case is closed, the case is closed. Why, if you weren't involved, would you want people to think that the case was closed? Because in my opinion, you were absolutely involved. I think also it should be a crime for you to receive video proof like Frank Marr did in the middle of my beating and not be charged for refusing to report a felony and capitalizing on it with views. This hasn't been presented to the legislation yet. As many people here in the Rio Grande Valley that would probably be laughing at this, your opinions don't matter. That's why you're not representing me in Austin. That's why you're not representing me in Washington, D.C. All I have to do is not even change the opinions of the people who directly represent me, but change the opinions of the people at large that are able to vote, which means every single person that is able to say, yes, we need a rule, or no, we don't need a rule, that is in any of the areas of in Texas and that is representing any part of the United States when I go to Washington. That's all I need. I don't need to change the minds of anybody that's watching this video and wants to laugh or oppose what I am saying. I do not require anybody's approval for anything. I never have.
I'm going to skip forward. This is all.
Quiet, or you were going to shoot me with some gun that you said that you had.
What?
And me with a pillowcase over my head. You chose to torture and beat me for 3 hours. You had no idea who I was. I had no idea you even existed. I had never done any harm to you at all. You were the one that held me down the entire time. And between times, you sat on my laps and you took selfies with me with a pillowcase over my head. When your boyfriend, when everybody else wanted to shave my head bald, your boyfriend said no, you all had done enough, and you got angry at him and you got in a fight with him. He was the only one that saved me from that. When the police finally got there, you shoved me in a bathroom and told me to be quiet or you were going to shoot me with some gun that you said that you had. And after you saw that it was a police officer and he was able to get in there to rescue me while he was handcuffing your boyfriend, you took the opportunity to beat me again. And to also beat up the officer.
All right, I'm gonna skip ahead.
But you never drug tested me. But in the state of Texas, even if I were to have come out positive, you are not to jail victims of crimes of those circumstances. Judge, there was a family court judge for years before he became a district court judge. And the district attorney knew because she's made aware of all crimes that occur in that county. Everybody knew what had happened to me. That's why I couldn't show up for court the Tuesday that I was supposed to show up, because I was in the hospital because of all of these things that I'm saying right now.
Yes, there was an incident where she was in a hospital because she took a beating from her then boyfriend. So that had to be rescheduled. But guess what? No charges were ever, no formal charges. No charges were made. No charges filed. She didn't. So, and I don't know, some people may disagree with this, but how do you call yourself a victim when you're not even going to take the steps to do the right thing and file charges against someone who abused you like that? So you want to claim victimhood, but you don't want to take the steps that any victim would take, and that's to press charges.
So were it not for this badly behaving judge violating my victim's rights, and I said that. That's the last statement that I made. None of this were to happen. None of this would have happened to me if it wasn't for a judge and a district attorney violating my victim's rights. Because those people would have never known who I was. Because I should have never been in jail. And that's the truth. And so, for now, this case is closed. For now, it is.
For now and forever. For now and forever.
For now.
We're all on the edge of our seats waiting for this case to be reopened. Not.
I'm hoping that the U.S. Southern District Prosecutor, the United States Southern District Prosecutor, when he hears my story about this judge that weaponized himself against me, Cordova, and this district attorney that weaponized herself against me, Hinojosa, how I was denied my victim's rights that day, how my bond was revoked by an inappropriate judge who would later be taken off all my cases, and in which Texas law states that once a judge is taken off the defendant's cases, then all the previous rulings must be thrown out. But that hasn't happened for me yet, right? Right? Because there's no provisions in the law. How are you going to, who's going to do that? Is the state of Texas going to accept? No, that's why you have to go. That's why it's going to take an act of Congress. That's why it's going to have to be me telling my story, stating, and even though it states that once a judge is removed from a defendant's cases, any rulings that that judge made against that defendant are voided.
Yeah. She thinks there's going to be an act of Congress to yeah, okay. We will wait for that.
You do not stipulate, you do not state, you do not write. There is no detailed process as to how that is going to occur and who's going to pay for that. Because by the time that a defendant gets to the point where they are able to successfully get a judge off all their cases, proving what the judge has done to them, they have likely exhausted all of their funding. So we need to create a law to address that. Sir, it's Vanessa Tijerina. How come you're not reporting when my cases are dismissed? How come you're not reporting when my cases are dismissed? How come you only report when I get arrested and indicted? Well, what? All you have to go is look up my cases, sir. Because I don't appreciate that. That's a rag of a newspaper that does that to people. And at the end of this, if you're still alive and breathing, and I am too, I hope you realize that you did this to a good woman who proved all of you wrong, including your rag of a newspaper. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. Goodbye.
So that's what she was yelling at the dude.
That's the writer of our local newspaper.
Yeah, I forgot his name. She's going to say his name. Is she going to say his name?
The way I spoke to him is the way I feel about all of them.
What was the guy's name? Hang on. Somebody.
The Valley
told
Morning
me
Star,
this.
the Brownsville Herald, and the McAllen Monitor. Channel 4, Channel 5, News 23, all of you. All of you. You're not doing any good to these people in the Rio Grande Valley when you do something like this. What you did to me. Right? But you're sure enough going to report whenever she has a best-selling book, right? Yeah. Uh-huh.
What
right?
case? What
You're
case?
going to do that, right?
What case got dismissed? Tell us that much. Do you know what I mean? That's the other thing. She doesn't talk about specifics. My case got dismissed. It's like, which one? Which one?
Right? But you're never going to say why the book was best-selling. Are you going to mention that I mentioned all of your names, all of your newspapers, rags of newspapers, all of your news stations? Because I am, and I will, and I have, actually. All right? I have a new judge already for all my other cases. I have a new judge. I was able to get Cordova off my cases. He was so mad.
Allen Essex. ALLENESSEX. That's the guy. And I have some questions for him, and I think I will write him. I think I will send him an email because I have some questions and some information to run by him.
He was so angry that he took advantage of just Willacy County's being the last people to.
And I believe he's from the Raymondville Chronicle. That's the name of the paper, the Raymondville Chronicle.
To have computerized filing. And so this jerk of a judge, a family court, a judge that had family law experience prior to becoming the district attorney. He knows good and well you do not decide custody by summary judgment. You do not deny a parent, a mother, the right that Texas is the only state in the nation that affords you the right to have a jury trial for custody. You're going to write that shit after that mother was able to take you off all of her criminal cases because you were acting like a damn fool, violating your canons in front of her, trying to weaponize and trying to flex your power and saying, well, whatever your attorneys say don't matter. What I say matters. No, what I say matters to your mandating agency matters. That's why you're off all my cases. That's why you became a man toddler in your judge's robes and decided custody by summary judgment when you know good and well that when you were an attorney, a family law attorney, you would have never, ever been okay with that, because that doesn't happen, especially when a parent has already paid the fee and already put in the statement on record stating that she wants a jury trial.
It's been like too long of watching a video, because what I keep hearing is, do you remember, I've said this before, remember when you watch Charlie Brown and when they would talk to the teachers at school and the teachers were like, wah, 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 wah. That's what I've heard for the last 45 minutes or whatever. This one is almost over.
This is not over. My justice is not over. My justice is mine.
It's over, Johnny. It's over, Johnny. And if it's not over for you personally, that's a you problem.
It's always been mine.
Mm-hmm.
I will always be victorious.
Okay.
I just have to go through the motions.
Yeah, okay, sure, Bob.
But I promise all of you in power, all of you
all right, Nadia,
in the media, I will be getting my justice.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you to everybody else that's ever prayed for me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love y'all. I'll leave this up for 24 hours. Okay?
It's over 24 hours.
If you want to know about how these hateful people from the public, how the wildfire of hate spread, you'll see it. You'll see it. You'll see it. Just look at the mouth of the flapping gums of John Allen. Only because Ophelia Moreno is muzzled right now, because she went and she harassed, in my opinion, somebody in Hidalgo County, and the next county takes the harassment law here seriously, unlike Willacy County, and they put a muzzle on her that is active right now. If it wasn't for that, she'd be opening up her mouth right now about this. All right. Thank y'all so much. If I pray for all of you that everything goes well in your lives, and
okay, that's enough. So yes, go away. Thank you. So I thought about doing the second video, but I'll be honest, it's virtually identical to this one. Unless you guys are looking for, to listen to something to put you to sleep. But I probably can find better things to do that. And for a Sunday night, I know most everybody's going back to work tomorrow morning. But as you can see, it's I'm not lying when I tell you, pick a video from 3 years ago and it's identical to this one. The videos are identical, minus the bad mop head. And it's been like that for the last few years. Yes, I was about to say, it's been like that for the last few years. She's got to repeat. She has to hypnotize those feeble minds, those viewers, those few loyal viewers. Because I'll be honest with you, just because every single video she does, she gets like 12,000 views, like instantly. And I mean instantly. And it's always the same amount, give or take the same amount. Why? I told you this. Because she subscribes to a couple of different groups on Facebook. I could do the same thing. In fact, maybe I will experiment and try that just so you can see how it works. I'm going to look into it only if I can undo it, because I don't want fake views or fake reactions. That's not my thing. But I want to experiment with it. First of all, if it costs money, I ain't gonna do it. That's a fucking waste of money. It's a dumb waste of money. So if I can do it and then get out of it and undo it, then I'll try it just so you can see how that works. So I'll look into that this week. And I've been putting this off for too long, and I apologize. Tomorrow, sound like Annie. Tomorrow will be the day when we're doing this stuff. I got to make sure that the Cash App accounts are working and all that, because I haven't touched those in a while. So we'll get that going again. I got a few things. I'll do it early. I don't know. I'll figure it out tomorrow. Yeah. You know what? This week, you know what? I've got time, actually. I'm going to look up. Let me see what I have right here. Hold on. Oh, what is this? Okay, no, that's not it. This was the morning coming out of the hospital after the Christmas Eve 2020 thing. Oh yeah, that lady. What's her name? Vicky? Was it Vicky something? Oops. How come it's not going? There it is. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. This is the morning he came out of the hospital after that beating on Christmas Eve 2020.
Hello, you guys. Are y'all able to see me? I'm going live from my computer because something happened to my phone. This happened to me at 11 o'clock this morning. I want y'all to know that. I already notified my sons. My sons are already aware of this. This is my face. You cannot recognize me. But I want y'all to know this is for my little girls. This is for my little girls. First of all, this is what you need to know. Do not listen to what the hate pages are saying about me. I had no idea that this was going to happen to me. I had no clue, okay? A man did not do this to me. But somebody wanted this done to my face. Somebody wanted this done to my face, and it was done to my face, okay? I'm sorry that I won't be able to do the video that I was gonna do tonight and finish the book. You guys know that I was doing that for y'all, and I really, I cared a lot about that. Okay, I want everybody to know there was a lot of little kids. I had their Christmas presents in my car. That they stole everything from me. They stole everything from me. They took everything. No, this did not happen. I was called to a location, and I have not given any names of anybody that did this to me, but there was things in place where people know what happened to me without me saying anything. They already knew what happened to me and who did this to me. They made it seem like if they had something really, really, really important to tell me, and they couldn't tell me on the phone, and so I had to drive to them, and I never fought back because I knew that if I fought back, it was gonna go worse for me, and I probably wasn't gonna survive. I probably wasn't gonna survive. And I needed to survive for my daughters. But there was people.
So I'll say, unless you had it coming, yeah, nobody deserves a beating like this. And the first thing, the initial first, and I don't know if it's in this video or it's a different one, but the initial reason she gave for this beating was because of her ex-boyfriend, Cody, his new girlfriend, had a problem with her because Cody had Vanessa's name tattooed on his back. So initially, this was all because of the jealous new girlfriend of her ex. And I'm not, well, let's just keep on.
People who wanted this to be done to me, just so you know, and I forgive everybody. I forgive everyone that did this to me. And the people that were on the phone. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. This is what you wanted. You told me to smile for the camera. You wanted to see my teeth. The people that did this to me, it was somebody else that had it done to me, not the actual people. Everybody was involved. This is an orchestrated thing. My baby girls. My baby girls. No, don't listen to the hate pages, y'all. Nobody. They knew that the minute that you saw my face, the people were gonna have pity for me. And all the people that hate me want you to think she deserved it. There was a reason this was done. No, there was no reason this was done. Nothing at all. I showed up to that location because they legitimately made me feel as if I had to be there. They couldn't tell me over the phone. So I'm sorry to all the little kids. I was gonna deliver y'all's presents today, and I can't because it was stolen from me. They stole my card, they stole my money, they stole my purse, they stole everything from me. Everything from me. And you know what? I thank the people. This could have been worse. There's people there, and I forgive everybody. But I did not do this to myself, and there was nothing that I did for this to be okay to happen to me. Nothing at all. I literally went in to this location thinking this was very important. They had to tell me something, and I can't trust anybody. My baby girls, I
Okay, so this is true, this comment right here. Thank you. I'm not monetizing. She took a selfie with two of her attackers the day before. That's been floating around. That's always been around. Yes, that's very true. So for her to say that she didn't know, she had no idea who those people were. I mean, come on. So in other words, a complete stranger tells you to come to a motel because we have to tell you something about your campaign. So she said, well, tell me on the phone. No, we have to tell you in person. Come to the motel. Okay. What kind of moron do you have to be to actually go and meet with somebody privately in a motel room? Tell me that's not shady as F. Who would any of you go? Somebody tells you, "Oh, I have something important to tell you, but you got to meet me at this motel." It's like, yeah, right. Click. Well, I mean, now it's not this. Now it's like click. Who would do that? Nobody. No, I should say nobody in their right mind would do that. Point number 2. I agree. Presents. Oh, she had the whole back seat full of presents. That's a bullshit lie. Where's my little buddy? Oh, here he is.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Why? Because why would you keep all those? First of all, if they were even real, why would you keep them in your car? And if you're going to meet these people, you're not going somewhere else afterwards, especially not the way you were dressed in the photos I've seen taking this beating. You obviously weren't going somewhere else to a party or to give these gifts or whatever. So why would they all be in the back of your car? If this was a random, oh, they called me in the morning and said, come and meet them. We have important information we have to tell you privately. You know, like they say lately, the math ain't mathing. It's not doing it. Now, why did they beat her? There's speculation. This being one of them, that either she stole or didn't pay for some kind of narcotics. And for a little while, the narrative was that she was political. That's why she purchased a press release, $200 or $300. She purchased a press release, wrote up the story, and sent it out. And that's when all the news outlets in the country got the story. Even Nancy Grace and, CBS, NBC, ABC News, they all got the story. Most of them looked at it and said, okay, what else is there? Nancy Grace referred to it and then never did again. Because it doesn't take long for you to read some backstory to know that this was shady as fuck and nothing to do with politics. This was nothing but a, as they say, a alleged crackhead political candidate. But anybody can write a press release. You pay the press release price. You can type up your own press release and send it out to whoever you want to send it to. And some stations or a news outlet might pick it up and might call you and get your story, and but I think that's what she was trying to turn it into. She was trying to capitalize on this that happened to her. And this crying, I don't buy it. It sounds like she's crying. I get nasally, but the alligator tears aren't coming. Where are they? Again, where's the alligator tear? Where's the actual? I mean, am I the only one not seeing this? I don't know. Am I cold that I don't feel bad? You know what? No. I mean, first of all, this would never happen to me. But if it did, you think I'm going to go online looking like that? Say, "Oh, look at me! Look what happened to me!" I want to go home or stay in the hospital and go to sleep. That's what I want to do. Load me up with painkillers. I want to go to sleep. Not get in the car and go live and.
I got you the way you are. I got you toys, and I was supposed to meet with her.
Yeah. So okay. See, that's it. Now I got you all this stuff and all these toys. Like, no, you didn't. But they're not there. This is one of those situations. There's nothing there now. It all got stolen. Oh, I spent $1,000 on your toys and all that stuff. Where is it? Well, I got stolen. So I'm not buying it. All right. Not sorry either.
With the lawyer of their father the day after Christmas so they could have their toys. And I had developed 300 pictures of us, and I was going to put them in an album for them. And they took everything. I want my little girls, when they grow up, to know that I had everything ready. I had everything, all your toys ready, and everything was taken. Everything was taken. Everything was taken. I don't know what else to say. All I know is that I haven't said anything to anybody, but everybody knows. People that need to know who did this, they already know. They know. And I didn't deserve this. The hate pages are saying that I did this because of prostitution. I don't need to prostitute myself out. There's nothing that's not true. They just want you all to think that I'm a bad person and that anything bad that happens to me I deserve. And then no, nothing like that happened. Nothing like that happened. Nothing. That's all I have to say, and I thank all y'all very much, and I thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye, and no, I mean, I'm doing all that I can, okay, but nothing, I did nothing, I did nothing to deserve this, nothing. I was literally an innocent person, but to you all that had them do this to me, and you know who you are. You know who you are. This is what you wanted, right? And you told me to look in the mirror. You told me to look in the camera. And you showed them my teeth. My pretty teeth. This is what they wanted. I forgive all of you for doing this to me. All of you that were involved in this. All of you. I'm just glad that I survived. Because I thought, and I knew that if I fought back, I would not live. I would not live. So I don't know when I'll see y'all again on here. But thank y'all so much. Thank you to the Ravenville Police Department. Thank you to the Willacy County and Sheriff's Department. Thank you so much. Please do not believe what the hate pages are saying. Please do not believe that. It's not true. It's not true. Yes, don't worry. The hospital is involved and everything. All that's gonna happen. Everything that needs to be done is gonna be done. This is Vanessa. This is Vanessa Tijerina. Yes, this is me, guys. Hello, hello. They did this to me today, right before noon. Right before noon. No, right before noon. No, a man did not do this to me. No, a man did not do this to me. And no, it was more than one person. And no, it wasn't because I was prostituting myself. This has nothing to do with drugs. It has nothing to do with anything other than somebody saying, you need to come over here. It's really important. We need to tell you something. And I trusted somebody. And I should have never done that. I should have never done that. Goodbye, y'all. Please have a Merry Christmas and babies tonight. And Audrey, when are you going to see this? And I had everything ready for you. I had everything beautiful to give you. I had everything beautiful to give you. I had each of you, your Barbies, to give you. I had everything to give you. I'm sorry that this happened. I love you all. And I don't know when I'm going to see you ever again. And I feel like I'm never going to see you again. Goodbye. Okay, let's go, David.
It's like I'm looking for the. I don't know. I think when I watched that video like a year ago or even a couple years ago, maybe I felt a sort of I felt a different kind of way about it. But when I watch it today, right now, I don't feel sorry. I think I think there was obviously some shady stuff going on there. I mean, who does that? Like, forgive right away, like right away, immediately. It's a few. It's. I think it's later in the day when she did that video, the same day. This real short video is that infamous. Would you rather have a peaceful life or what was it? Peaceful life or be on social media or on Facebook or whatever? Do you remember that?
Choose between a peaceful life or Facebook drama. What would you prefer?
She actually had to think about this.
I'm thinking. Facebook drama. Not because that's what I want, but because choosing a peaceful life, I already had that choice, Felix. I already had that choice. I already did. I'm living my choice. I'm living my choice.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
Choose between a peaceful life or Facebook drama. What would you prefer?
So either she's faking that she's thinking about it, or she already knows the answer, which is what she said. She'd rather have Facebook drama, all this crap going on in her life to this day is what she would rather have. And the fact, if she really did have to think about it, oh, that speaks volumes as well. I mean, go ask 100 people on the street. Would you rather have a peaceful life or Facebook drama? Except for a few crooked ones, everybody's going to say, well, a peaceful life, of course. Who's not going to say that? But she already knew. She likes this. She's a professional victim. She loves to be the victim. She loves the thought that people hate her, that people don't like her. She gets off on that. That's what she enjoys. Hi, Kate. What type of parent would put out a video like that, which would completely traumatize her own kids? Right? Like she's trying to be a martyr or something. Like, look what happened to me. Look at my face. Look at my face. And then for part of the reason, she was saying it was her son's something that she said, something that her sons did that caused her to be hated so much. And I'm like, really? You're blaming your sons? Really? That's what you want to do? Nadia says that a week later she was doing shots on New Year's Eve singing karaoke. Yeah, I did see that. I don't have that video clip, but yeah. Yeah. She already knew. Yep. I agree. Now let's see if I do have one more goodie. If I do, I'll pop it up here. If not, we will call it a night. Give me 1 second. What is this one? Let me see. I don't know what this is.
And so, obviously, when you choose to, go on the Lord's day, because you're like, Lord, this is happening to me, and I just need to feel, the love of my, my Lord and Savior, right? In a house of worship. And so I foolishly and naively, but you know what? It wasn't such foolish, because I should be able to go into any house of worship and feel any human.
This is from 2023, May 21st, 2023.
Should be able to go into any house of worship, and feel comfortable. Any house of worship. But I went into my local small town. The very devils and the very devils related to the very devils, and the very devils related to the very devils related to the very devils that was doing this to my life. That traumatized me. That traumatized me greatly.
I don't think it traumatized her.
And I remember going home and thinking and looking at these people and being like, because I was very righteous and I've always been very righteous all my whole life because I was just born that way. And I remember looking and thinking,
A bullshit, a bullshit, a bullshit.
Boy, is that a good one. She's been very righteous her whole life.
how can you be in here like this, knowing what you've done to me? Ew. And then I would go to another one in town and it'd be the same thing. And I'd go to another one in town and it'd be the same thing. And I'd go to another one in town and it'd be the same thing. And it'd be like, Lord, no, I'm sorry. I tried it. I tried it. I cannot. And I know that I'm here. I know that I'm here for you. And I know that I'm here for your love. That how can I do it when I see the very people that hurt me with their arms raised, washing themselves from the sins of having what they did to me, going out and still doing it to me? No, that turned me off. That turned me off. No. And then as the hate grew, as the hate from the rest of the Rio Grande Valley started to make little friends with the hate from my hometown.
What was that guy called? Wasn't there a evangelist or whatever called TD Jakes? Let me see. I think it was TD Jakes. That's why somebody put, in fact, wasn't TD Jakes in trouble or something? Yeah, TD Jakes. And he was in trouble. He got in trouble for something, right? What happened to TD Jakes? TD Jakes steps down from Dallas mega church.
Developing story that we're following now. Bishop T.D. Jakes, the leader of Dallas mega church, the Potter's House, announced today that he will be stepping down. Jakes is a world-renowned pastor. Remember, he suffered a heart attack in front of his congregation last November. Well, this morning, Jakes said that his daughter and son-in-law will now take the lead. Fox 4 Stephen Dial is in studio tonight.
I swear it was something else, but maybe that was it.
So then when I finally got it in me and said, you know what, Vanessa, just try to go to other churches farther away from you. Oh, don't worry. Yes, that's a good idea. Oh, don't you think I see the hateful faces on those hate pages? It was the same thing. No. You on hate pages.
Doesn't she get embarrassed by this? I mean, I'm over here. It's like cringe. It's like, oh, why are you doing this? You know, and it's why it's like it's what Democrats do. Okay, maybe not all Democrats, but you know, Kamala did this all the time, and so did Obama. Like, why? I mean, how do you? It's like cringy. It's like
all up in here with your arms up in the air, swinging left to right, and no, playing instruments.
How dare you?
No, opening your little book. No matter what kind of church I went into, a Catholic one, there's a hater kneeling, getting up, kneeling, getting up, kneeling, getting up, kneeling, getting up, kneeling. There's a hater. From the hate pages, there you are with your whole.
Well, at least they're not doing something kneeling like some people do. Continue.
Family too. With your whole family. And right now, when you walk out of here, there you will be on a hate page that targets me. Completely traumatized. Completely. Because remember, I tried going to church years ago, and the worst had not yet come. The worst had not yet come. So when the worst came, I knew I only had me, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and that's it. I had no congregation. I had no brick and mortar building. I had nothing but the faith that was in me and the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. That's it. That's all I had. That's all I had. Because there was no way that anybody was going to drag me into any of these houses of worship so that I could sit there next to the very people that are on all of these pages of that which that I'm fasting from.
Fasting. I'm going to say I don't think she's ever fasted a day in her life. And what, she's got this little rosary thing, so that makes her holier than thou. If she's going to call everybody else heathens, then she's the biggest freaking heathen of them all.
And you want to come over here on my page on the Lord's Day? I rebuke you. I rebuke you. And I will time you out. And you will sit here. And you will hear me.
It's embarrassing. I feel embarrassed for her.
Now let me see about my coffee. How's everybody else doing? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Miss Kelly. A lot of people use the church to cloak their real low vibration going into a sanctuary. No, it's true. They go in there, they be hanging on all their family.
Here's some more thank yous for you.
Thank you, 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 thank you.
They go all dressed up, putting on their Sunday's best. What you putting on your Sunday's best for? You be sitting on your sofa with your little hole in your t-shirt and your stain on your t-shirt all Monday through Saturday, all up on the hate pages, doing all the ungodly, unchristly things for what? So that you and your family can go and put on your Sunday's best, and you can go and you can hang your horns in the entrance of that church and then walk out and then just put them back on your head again, all of y'all. I said it. I am one of this world's most hated. They all had to come together to try to ruin my life or to make sure that I took my life. Are you kidding? What? And I'm not going to talk about it. I'll be damned. And then a man wants to show me some kindness. What you want to do? Some of you heathens are having marital problems yourselves.
Oh, poor you.
The very heathens giving me problems are having marital problems yourselves. And then you're here trying to ruin any kind of connection that you may see that a man may be showing me any kind of affection. What you doing when you have marital problems? Because, honey, I'm single.
Honey, I'm single.
Weird.
Honey, I'm single. Roy Marukin. Roy. All day long, Roy. Honey, I'm single.
Yeah, you said
Do
that
I
already.
have to say it 10 times for you to realize how simple, the power that such a simple statement is really trying to make? Honey, I'm single. If you're a hater that targets me in a marriage that's very shaky, but you're trying to message.
I'm trying to figure out that accent. Did she like just create one?
Ruin. Want me single for life. Honey, I'm single. It's not up to me to follow any kind of marital rules because I'm single.
Oh, this is her famous McDonald's coffee with 12 sugars or some shit like that, or was it 12 creamers and 8 whatever? I can't remember. Do you remember?
Miss Linda, I'm on a hate fast, but sweetheart, if you know, I'm on a hate fast. My name's not Lady. My name's Vanessa S. Tijerina. And if you're watching this from any other page than mine, then please come over to my page.
I hate fast.
Please come over to my page.
I remember that.
Don't be like Miss Linda Ramos, who is literally, I can see right through that which I'm fasting from. You don't want to, please get away with your hate, with your fake empathy. That is fake empathy. You just wanted an excuse to show your face on my page. That's all you wanted. You probably wanted them shaky marriages. Because no one that is happy in their lives would come over here with fake empathy. Because anybody that really feels the way that you wrote right there, and the person that liked it, Miss Connie Weatherford. Why am I not surprised that it's somebody, of a certain melanin challenged group, a certain kind of ladies, and I'm using that term loosely. I'm not surprised that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 100 of them come and like your comment. I wouldn't be surprised. Your comment is a catch-all. They ain't even smart enough to stay away from your comment. They're like, let me out myself as a low-key hater. Let me go like this comment of Linda Ramos's.
You ain't got to say that. I am living for the Lord. I am living for the Lord. I am living for the Lord. Hallelujah. I feel him down in my spirit. As I think about the goodness of Jesus and all that he has done for me, my soul cries out, hallelujah. Thank God for saving me. You finished. I changed my life. You ain't got to say that. I am living for the Lord. I am living for the Lord. I am living for the Lord. Hallelujah. I feel him down in my spirit. As I think about the goodness of Jesus and all that he has done for me, my soul cries out, hallelujah. Thank God for saving me. You finished.
Oh my God, that's funny. If you know, you know what that is.
Right now. Because they know what I'm saying is true. You're the problem. You're one of the biggest problems. You're but the face of those people with fake empathy. You're but the face. You right now, Linda Ramos, just made yourself the face of that which I am fasting from. Really, you made yourself the face of hate. You did. You really did. Lady, don't come at me with lady. My name's Vanessa. Vanessa.
Miss Tijerina to you. Yes, ma'am. And on the Lord's Day. V to my friends, Nessa to my family, Stephanie to those that really know me, Steph to those that know me really closely,
Which is nobody.
Stefana to know those that know me since I was a child. But to you, Miss Ramos, it is Miss Tijerina. It ain't lady. Because that is something that is reserved for something that is reciprocal. And I do not consider you a lady, ma'am. Especially after you came over here like that with me. Fake empathy. No one's going to see me burn the hell out my mouth. Let me cool that down. You need massive help. Yes, I need massive help. I don't need no help from no fake empathy, hateful people.
Making steak dinner for
None for y'all coming over here and y'all just want to grandstand on my page. Like, what is your background? You don't have no background. You don't have no license. You don't have no degree. Because believe me, I would screenshot that if you did. But you don't. You don't have you're not a counselor. You're not a therapist. You don't have nothing of the sort. Nothing.
So does Vanessa get her stuff from Medea, or does Medea get her stuff from Vanessa?
You just didn't like that I said I'm single. I'm single. And why would hateful people...
Oh my God! Did you get one of those t-shirts? Yeah, I have to look to see if they're still on there. I'm hate fasting. I don't think it's on there anymore. But
why would you want your target from getting locked down? Why would you do everything in the world to try to keep your target from getting locked down when you are in a shaky marriage and she can do whatever the hell she wants because she is single? Do you not think that critically? And you didn't like that I said that. And you came over here with your fake empathy.
her coffee was truly like 12 sugars and 12 creams. I remember it was something like that. Oh my goodness, that was hilarious. That was a diamond in the rough for sure, right? Oof, oof, oof. All right, we're going to call it a night for this end of the week, or some people think Sunday is the beginning of the week, but I happen to think Sunday is the end of the week and Monday starts a new week. Hey, you guys have a good night. I'll be online a lot more, so I'll be seeing you tomorrow, maybe even a couple times. Need to get a few things in order so we can get those prizes moving, and then have some fun with that. I got to update the t-shirt. We had that t-shirt. It was so funny. I'm hate fasting. God, that's funny. Yeah, I'm going to look for that. There was this lady who called her out. I'm pretty sure she was from Louisiana. You guys remember this? She was talking directly at her, and this was one of those times, and there have been a few where she had her ass handed to her on a silver platter. Yeah, I'm not showing that Predator, Rolando. It traumatized me for a few days. You know, I mean, it did me some good because I couldn't eat for a few days, but you know, I can't. I can't. I'll pass. I have to let some more time go by before I'll show the Predator again. Anyway, hey, you guys have a great night. Glad you could be here for a little while, having a laugh, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone. Get some rest. It'll be a good week. I promise. It'll be a good week. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.